Hello, this is Jim Wood of Ask Jim Everything and Anything. Let me keep it short and sweet. Ask Jim Anything. Spin on Ask Marilyn Everything. Everything is better than anything because I am very wordy and love to have you call in if you have any questions. Try to help in the held-a-going handbasket world we live in. Been homeless for some time now, even though I was a high-paid Silicon Valley engineer, great education, 17 years of college, and all because of cancer and epilepsy, where I was treated like dirt by my family for that reason. They kick you more when you're down than when you're up. Tried to shoot myself a number of times, thought about killing myself, but I'm just too damn mean to let that happen. Let the worst of people get the best of me. And I expect the rest of you think the same way, because suicide through the roof right now is homelessness, mass murder, crime, snipers shooting on cops in New Jersey. Because I warn people that, despite all the terrible things going on, the focus was where I'm intentionally trying to be high up the FBI's most watched list and get the attention of the authorities and other people. To pick a fight with the cops, knowing that years ago there would be more deaths to cops forced to quit, cops going to jail for tampering with evidence, beating people in confessions, and framing people. They have to wear cameras, but it's not really helping because they still make rash decisions, knowing the good old boy network. The cops, the prosecutors, and judges usually let the cops go. It's very rare that the Rodney King thing, where they had to bring in the FBI for violating civil rights, that you get that kind of intervention, because cops get away with murder a lot more often than you think. And the reason they do is because there are too many weenies out there that respect them. The goal is to privatize in anticipation of more tax losses, because the very reason things are getting bad is that they're losing tax money, so they have to lay off cops, let people out of jail, less money for fire. A lot of fires like in California where homeless people have to set fires to trash cans just to stay warm. Never been worse. In my case, I was lucky enough to find, I'm being discharged from what they call a respite center in Austin, Texas tomorrow. I was lucky enough to find a place that's a bachelor studio where you can rent by the night. It's fairly cheap. Just have to share a bathroom with one other person, so I'm okay with that. 55 years old and single, had a wife, but I was too mean to her. She left me. That was way back in 2004. I have to have my solitude, but I have to have something to do where I can help people that are worth helping, and people that don't take my advice, fine, just leads to divide and conquer. Love to make a name for myself, delusions of grandeur, hell yeah. But are delusions really false thoughts according to the definitions? If you just don't give up on your dream, because again, it's not false or real until you realize sometime in the future that great ambitions can lead to a world where anarchy will eventually be a good thing, even though now it's a bad thing, because they're just not privatizing what the government does, and there's all kinds of insane ideas to create private sector revenues for what the government does. That means cheaper, friendlier, better service as opposed to something expensive, counterproductive, and belligerent. Eventually, we all go back to work, just like in Reagan days, other than people that choose not to work, or maybe they're too mentally, physically disabled. And many of these people wind up homeless, and the homeless problem is so out of control that even people like me who are very level-headed, very well-educated, just simply can't find a job. I look for a job recently, can't find one, can't get interviews. I'm an old man with it's really more Parkinson's than epilepsy, and I've got a bag on my stomach, what they call an ostomy bag, because I have no bladder. They just don't want to hire me. Socialized medicine leads to a lot of malpractice where we have a lot of unhealthy Americans who can't work, can't find a place to live, kill themselves. Their relatives take advantage of them like they took advantage of me through illegal conservatorships. Eventually, you entertain something where you get disenfranchised by 90% of the population. You aim about the tax revolt with tax on insurance, where at surviveworldwar3.com I show you how to collect money and give it away to people that lose money in a tax audit, educate people about international tax shelters where you don't have to pay taxes. Other than that, what can I say? It's just very foolish to pay taxes right now if you know what's going on, because you have no chance of being audited. And if you are, in the rare cases, there's penalties and interest. You can insure yourself against it with my idea, or just use these international tax shelters, overseas trust funds, foreign payment processors for businesses, or better yet, cryptocurrency. Whereas an act of the Geneva Convention about 100 years ago, they said, well, yeah, because with wire transfers, money going overseas avoided the tax man. They decided not to tax that except based on what you withdraw, not based on what you earn. So over time, they lay off the tax man, the collectors, and so it's just forced to pay taxes. Tax debt is not a crime. Tax evasion, tax fraud, where you don't report as a crime, but unless it's hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions, like the 17 million that Wesley Snipes didn't report, you have almost no chance of going to jail. How can they throw you in jail when they need a lot of money to throw you in jail and they know they're not going to get the money? So just don't pay taxes, and eventually we all go back to work, privatize, self-governance, Reaganomics. Reagan actually undersold supply-side economics in terms of just how well the economy will overheat, and that'll be a good thing to where instead of foreign labor, we can use machines to do most of the tedious work human beings don't want to do, and you don't have to report to other people when all the companies become labor guilds. Better yet, be self-employed, work out of the house, and say F you, the driving to a job. That's my dream, and I think that's the dream for many of you. I'd like to call in, be part of that dream, see how we can come up with ideas on how to go viral. James Dante Wood is my name. The phone number here is 1-512-647-9706. That's 1-512-647-9706. I'd love to have you call in and be my guest, and just because usually live shows as a rule, I rarely get live listeners because I've been doing this for the first time in years. Trying to be consistent, trying to do this according to a regimen, but it's not. But the thing is, until I get a place of my own, because I have constant interruptions being in what's really a hospital because of my bad health. I apologize for the fact this is my first show in about a week. But I will attempt to do more shows where you can count on me being live with a dedicated time interval. Probably be 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's my proposal. For now, it's just all hit and miss. My website is surviveworldwar3.com. I also have lawsuitblaster.com, humanumission.com, and spaceelevatorx.com. Check out those websites. I think you'll be amazed at some of my ideas. But we have to find a way where maybe I can spam the living hell out of people because I don't have an advertising marketing budget to get people to notice these websites. And with Black Hat software, yeah, you can do amazing things. There are guys that make tens of thousands of dollars a month through Black Hat spam, where you kind of cheat in order to rank high on Google. That just means instead of a person pointing to another person's website, voting for another person's human being's website, the robot votes for itself. So you rank high on Google. So go to blackhatworld.com and see what I mean. So if you're listening live, please do call in. Even if it's just one listener right now. I got 7 listeners for my last show. That's actually not that bad for a new show, but I put it off for a week, which is too bad. But I made 10 cents because of monetization, because of the commercials before and after the show. I was trying to dedicate 3 hours, but I can't do that unless I get someone to call in, because it's really exhausting to talk for 3 hours, not knowing if you get at least that one listener. If I get just one listener and it's worth it, I'd like to have you confirm. You can go to the chat server if you don't want to talk and be heard by potentially others. Because again, I think the most I ever had for a show is about 135 people, and that was like the last show I did about a year and a half ago. But that's because I put it off, and then what happened was, yeah, sometimes the archive shows do well if you have the right keywords and people look up the keywords associated with the show. But what I was told, most people want to listen live. They look at categories, they look at keywords, and it's mostly people who have their own Spreaker.com podcasts that look for other podcasters. So many of you, if you're listening right now, are probably podcasters yourself, and I'd love to be a guest on your shows as well. I will look around. Spreaker, at one time, there's a way to follow people. Now you can't do that, which is too bad, because it would be great to follow more people so they follow me in return. And we develop a family of podcasters that you can help one another out. Even if you only get 100 listeners a day, that's a lot. Monetization, that could be good money, and then people go to the website to make money doing other things, where you just advertise your own stuff. Because I have all kinds of ideas where you don't have to advertise other people's stuff. You sell what you want to sell at your website, even though it's pretty cool to be in the advertising marketing business. But for the most part, like most people, I don't like commercials. I just want to talk, play music, play some news, and have people call in. So what I might do, I'll check right now. And we'll see if I can create music blast. Let me check right here. Just one moment. Let's see. What do we want to play for music? I don't know if I have my music. So I have Amazon songs, some good songs I want to play. Let's see here. Because it was Amazon. It's not here. Yeah, here we go. Amazon Music. These are the downloads I paid for. Let's see if it comes up in a minute. Yeah, here we go. High density or high definition. You just call it density.